More on our top story. Russia's friendly relations with Turkey might change following Russia's airspace violation. And both countries have been at odds over the war in Syria. Let's discuss both issues with Gülnur Aybet. She's the head of the Department of Political Science and International Relations here in Istanbul at Bahçeşehir University. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, Turkey is a NATO member, and its airspace was violated by a non-NATO country like Russia. What reaction do you expect from the alliance?
At the moment, we don't know if Turkey will ask for an Article 4 type meeting to be convened. It has before, when its airspace was violated and there was cross-border fire coming from Syria. They actually had two separate meetings throughout the Syrian war, NATO did, on this Article 4, which means basically any member of the alliance can call an emergency meeting if it feels its security is under threat. This is more a crisis management tactic rather than calling for full-blown Article 5, which is basically a defense of that country against the other country. Now, of course, you said a non-NATO state. It's not just any other non-NATO state. It's Russia. And I think that is the important point here. And we have to understand, or try to understand, what Russia's trying to do. Is it there for the short term to make a point, just as the refugee crisis is really upping up in Europe and putting Europe under pressure, that the Western countries are now beginning to think, well, yes, there should be a Syrian endgame, we should try to end the war. And then Russia walks in there with the military build-up to say, okay, I'm here, and I'm going to make sure that if there is a settlement, I'm going to have something to say about it, especially with regards to my hold on the base on Latakia. So I think in terms of the Russian interests, whether Assad goes or stays is secondary to the position in Latakia. So they really want to make sure that they have their foot there. But so if they're making a point about that we could read that as short term. But looking at how they are increasing their stronghold on the base, for example, constructing new buildings or even airstrips, tells us that they're in there for the long haul. So this is a long-term strategy. And the other thing that tells us about the long haul is the very strange alliance that's forming between Iraq, Syria, Iran, and Russia. This is something to watch out for. They already have an intelligence cooperation coming out of Baghdad. How this is going to affect the Kurdish region, which has good relations with Turkey. Again, you know, these are all regional plays that are now up in the air that we have to watch very carefully. But with regards to straying into Turkish airspace,
it says it was a navigational error. Do you actually believe in that?
Well, look, I mean, when you look on the map, the places that they have been targeting, which is near Idlib and on the south, Hama and Homs, I mean, they've hardly targeted any ISIS positions at all, from what I can tell. Largely the rebels that are fighting the Assad regime have been targeted. This is really way off from
It's
Yayla.
to northwest.
Yeah, Yayla Da is really way off. I mean, you can't just stray from there. I really don't think it's... you know, I just don't understand how you can stray. So maybe they were making a point that, yes, we are here in the region and we can stray into NATO airspace. And, you know, considering it's their first intervention outside, you know, their borders since Afghanistan in '79, this is kind of significant.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that analysis.
Thank you.